All right, welcome back to the final and most exciting step in our tinfoil embossing line drawing. So my glue is dry and I have just stuck this down to a piece of cardboard or an old pizza box just so that I have a surface to work on. So next you take your kitchen foil and make sure you get a piece that's bigger than your drawing. And I like to work with the shiny side up. So here's the next step. Now, I recommend white glue for this step. You can use a glue stick, but white glue. So take your drawing, set it aside. And what we want to do is coat your foil in a really thin layer of glue. Now, you can, if you don't have a brush, you can use your finger for this, but a paintbrush works really well, okay? So put some glue. And again, you can use a brush. I am just going to use my fingers because I don't have a brush handy. And you're just going to smear a really thin layer of glue over your foil, okay? And the reason is this is going to help this stick to your embossing, okay? So now I've got my glue stuck on. I'm going to take my drawing and I'm going to put the glue side down on my drawing, and I'm going to start in the center and I'm going to start to press gently. And you can see already just by pressing around my original glue, dried glue underneath, that it's creating a nice shape. So my advice would be to use something soft for this, like the end of a marker. You can use your fingers, a spoon, but now we want to just start pressing and bringing the dried glue underneath up to make our embossing, okay? So you can go around your frame. I'm going to start here. And you can see even after just a couple of minutes of pressing, my embossing is really starting to take shape. So I am going to speed this up for a few minutes and then come back and we'll see what it looks like at the end. All right, here we are. You can see I've pressed my foil over my glue and embossed it really nice. And if you're having a hard time, use something soft, gently, like the edge of an eraser, the end of a kitchen spoon, to really kind of get in there and carve out those details. And we don't want to rip the foil, and that's tough to do, to be gentle, but get in there at the same time. Okay, so now you have finished your embossing. It looks great. The only last step is on foil, you can actually add color using paint or Sharpies or markers, but it rubs off. So I'm going to do a test piece because I want to add some color texture. So I'm going to take the Sharpie, and I know it dries pretty quick. So I'm going to color a little sample and then see what happens when I kind of wipe part of it off. And I get this, it's hard to see on the camera, but I get this kind of aged, rusty look. So I'm going to actually try that with some of my mountain ranges. So I'm going to add a little bit of color, and you can do this however you want. So I'm going to add and then just kind of dab off some of the color, and you can see now at an angle, it's hard to see on this camera, but you can see now at an angle that I've got some texture in there. It's not actually colored all the way black, and you can do that with different colors. So if you want some yellow if you have a sun or something, you can add some yellow. You can choose to blot some of it out, or you can just leave it like a solid color. And I have a variety of different markers here. So I know I've got some kind of water, but I just want a hint of blue. I don't want it actually like really blue. So I'm going to just put some and then kind of blot it out before it dries, just so I get a hint of color without too much obvious color. So it's completely up to you on how you want to do this, but consider that paint works as well. You can use paint if you want, and markers. And how are you going to make this finished product really interesting and really make those lines kind of pop out. Okay, so almost done, and can't wait to see what you come up with. And there we have our finished tinfoil embossed line drawing with just a hint of color because it's fun. So you can choose any kind of line drawing you like. It doesn't have to be a landscape, but have fun with it, and I can't wait to see what you'll come up with.